Ray tracing is the biggest scam in gaming. Or is it? Some say it's the future, others say it's just a performance killer. We're constantly told that ray tracing is the key to ultra-realistic graphics, but is it really worth the massive FPS hit? Alright, let's break it down. In simple terms, ray tracing is a way to simulate how light works in the real world. Instead of faking shadows, reflections, and lighting like traditional methods, ray tracing actually traces individual light rays and calculates how they interact with surfaces. Think about how light bounces off a mirror, reflects onto a wall, and softly illuminates a room. Traditional graphics use baked lighting and screen space reflections to fake this effect. Ray tracing, on the other hand, does it for real, but at a serious performance cost. So, why does everyone hype it up? Well, when done right, ray tracing makes a game world look insanely realistic. Here's what it actually improves. Reflections. No more fake screen space reflections that disappear when you move the camera. With ray tracing, mirrors, puddles, and glass all reflect the world correctly. Shadows. Softer, more natural-looking shadows that fade properly over distance. Global illumination. Instead of pre-baked lighting, ray tracing calculates how light bounces around dynamically, making everything feel more real. Atmospheric lighting, sunlight scattering, God rays, and realistic ambient occlusion make environments look cinematic. But before you rush to turn it on, let's talk about the downsides. Here's the problem. Ray tracing is insanely demanding. It requires so much GPU power that even the best hardware struggles to maintain smooth performance. Take Black Myth Wukong, for example. Without ray tracing, you can hit 100 plus FPS. Turn it on, and suddenly you're at 40 FPS unless you use DLSS or frame generation. And even then, you might still feel the hit. Even on RTX 5090, full path tracing's barely playable without AI upscaling. For most gamers, the trade-off isn't worth it, and that's where traditional rendering techniques still dominate. Oh, and let's talk about a little industry secret. Some devs seem to think optimization is just a setting in the graphics menu. Instead of fine-tuning their game to run efficiently, they slap on DLSS, FSR, and frame generation like duct tape on a leaky boat and call it a day. Look, these upscalers are amazing tech, but they were meant to enhance performance, not replace proper optimization. If your game barely hits 40 FPS on a $2,000 GPU, that's not a next-gen experience. That's just lazy development disguised as cutting-edge graphics. We're not saying don't use DLSS or FSR, they're lifesavers. But when your game requires AI just to be playable, maybe the problem isn't the player's hardware. Maybe it's time to stop blaming GPUs and start optimizing the actual game. Of course, not all developers are guilty of this. Some actually push the boundaries of graphics with proper optimization and ray tracing. But here's the real question. Is ray tracing actually necessary for better visuals? Or is it just another marketing gimmick? Game developers have already mastered tricks like screen space reflections, cube maps, and pre-baked lighting. Games like God of War and The Last of Us look incredible without it. Plus, Unreal Engine 5's Lumen system delivers dynamic global illumination without the performance hit of full ray tracing. And let's be honest, most of the time, in fast-paced gameplay, you're not even noticing those fancy reflections. So, while ray tracing has its clear advantages, it's not always essential. In some cases, traditional rendering techniques do the job just fine, especially when paired with good art direction. But here's my take on it. I personally love ray tracing. The level of realism it brings to games is incredible. Perfect reflections, accurate lighting, and an overall cinematic look that just isn't possible with older techniques. And the best part? If someone doesn't like it, or doesn't have the hardware to run it, they can simply turn it off. It's an option, not a requirement. That being said, as much as I want ray tracing in every single game, I also know that not every game needs it. Some games benefit massively, while others might not gain much beyond a minor visual upgrade. So, where does ray tracing truly matter? And where is it just a marketing gimmick? I made this video for those wondering if we really need ray tracing. The answer? Absolutely. Every step forward in technology makes things better, just like how we moved from CRT monitors to 4K displays, or from flip phones to smartphones. If progress didn't matter, we'd still be playing Pong. But hey, If you think we don't need ray tracing, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take.